I'm detecting a change in your love life, like a turning point. And for a turning point, you need friction. Okay? So the first couple of cards that I'm taking, I'm actually looking for what that friction is. I know, you like friction? Love reading. I'm here for it. Who knows? Okay. Well, there they are. They've fallen on the floor on their own. Always a good sign. And one of them is the lovers. The lovers. So it's hot stuff already. One of them is actually refusing to come up. Okay, so this is for you if you are single, coupled, in between, situationship, whatever. Let's just see what comes up. And we're looking at what is the turning point? What's changing here? Can we get some clarity? And I think we probably can. Okay, first card that dives onto the floor is the lovers. The lovers, as we know, originally used to be called the choice. It's kind of associated a lot with the apple, you know, and the whole sort of thing about an apple being a choice. Usually a bad choice, you know, for women anyway. Women and low-hanging fruit, it's a no. But we'll just ignore that for now and we'll go with the lovers, okay? This is about not a choice where you think, well, shall I do this or that now? Or am I feeling this or that now? The lovers is always a longer term choice. I always think of it as kicking a ball into the long grass. It's a grower, not a shower. I don't know what in the Benny Hill has happened to me. As soon as I do a love reading, it's like, I don't know what I'm tapping into. Let me know in the comments. Am I tapping into you? Oh my God, that's even worse. Oh God. Tap this, baby. Okay, in all seriousness, because I can feel there's a lot to say in this reading, so let's get down to it. This is a choice, but it's a choice in a way that two roads open up, okay? I don't know yet if they're exclusive, as in if you take this road you can never go for that one, if you take that one you can never go for this one, because it depends on whether we get things like the Chariot, you know, two horses, one arse, that kind of thing. Let's see. Next thing we have is the Ace of Swords, which is clarity. Now, full disclosure, next to it is the Nine of Swords. And this is not the face of somebody who has full clarity. So I'm thinking there is a situation in which, and I'm also getting a channeled image of a fogged up mirror. So there is something that is in the mirror that you could see, but there's like a fog. So it's hiding behind it. Okay. Now, this man, King of Swords, many of you will know, wouldn't come off the floor. So he dived onto the floor and then refused to be picked back up again. So we have a feeling of someone... Let's have a look. I've got two decks at the moment, okay? I said decks. I feel I need to clarify that at this point. I'm working with these two. The Lover's Path Tarot, which is what we've been looking at. Why did I look at the bottom of that one? And then also this one, which is Scarlet Rose, I think. I'm going to have a look at what is getting in the way of the clarity, but I must just, again, full disclosure, in the name of transparency, this guy just, like, how are you doing, from the bottom of the deck? Woof. Okay, so we've got devil energy at the bottom of the deck. Know that when we have devil energy, whether you, whatever stage you're at in your love life, there are things, patterns, think of them as just chains. What is chaining you to a feeling, a pattern, a story, a person, okay? It doesn't mean that you can solve that right now. It doesn't mean that you can just break the chains straight away. First, you have to identify them. Let's have a look at what's getting in the way of... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's getting in the way of the clarity? What's getting in the way of the Ace of Swords? Ten of Cups, baby. Mars in Pisces. I always think of this as Skittles hitting a rainbow. You put the phone down first. No, you put the phone down first. Limerence and rainbow and glitter and unicorns and happy ever afters. Okay, there's something here about expectations, and there's also something here about the story of happily ever after. And how that, which is weird, and you're like, how can you make a card as nice as the Ten of Cups into a difficulty, Gemma? Well, I can, and I will. This story of the happy ever after that we've been brought up with sometimes is a rusty old chain, okay? It keeps you in looking for increments, looking for pit stops. You know, have we reached this? Have we reached that? Has it reached the other? Am I at the age that I'm at in my life reaching this milestone? Should this have happened by now? Why is it happening to them and it's not happening to me? Why is it on social media but it's not happening to me? Or whatever it is that you're comparing yourself to. Now, the people who are resonating with this reading that I am feeling a collective feeling about are very empathic people, to the edge of being, I'm going to say, other people might have thought you were a bit weird at times. Well, join the club, okay? That's okay. That's the best people, isn't it? So you may be somewhat of an outsider. You may be living in that sort of liminal space between the veil of this world and reality and whatever is beyond it. And maybe, you know, being empaths, and I'm going to say magic dwellers, which is something I've never said before, so it's channeled. It can also mean that you can be very susceptible or easily influenced when you're younger in terms of fairy stories, love stories, rom-coms, how the perfect, you know, the one, all of those things. And there's something about some rose-tinted glasses, massive channeled thing for me, that is stopping you from seeing things as they really are. So, okay. King of Swords is a sort of traditional person. King of Swords can also be someone who finds it difficult to communicate feelings. The Nine of Swords with the King of Swords is quite a tell. You know, there's something about... Well, let's take another card for it, actually. I'm going to take that one. Oh my, I'm going to drop an F-bomb. I don't know what potty mouth has overcome me. Right, okay, I'm liking this. Two of freaking cups, people. Two of freaking cups. Well, I never. I mean, come on. Okay. So you've now got the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups. Look, you see here. Going to show you. Going to show you. You've got your lovers, your Ace of Swords. You've got the choice. You've got the need for clarity. A real hankering need for clarity, okay? You've got somebody who wouldn't get up off the floor, and you've got somebody who's overthinking and stressed. And what's the actual friction here? What's the tension? It's the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands. I rather like this sort of tension. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because the cards that should be easy, the love cards, are a bit more spiky and difficult, like the Lovers, like the Ace of Swords, like the King of Swords, definitely like the Nine of Swords. And the cards that should be the problem are the cards that should be absolutely bursting with love and joy. The Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, you know, two of the greatest hits of the cup cards. And then in the middle, the Two of Wands, which is a little bit like a minor arcana version of the Lovers. The Lovers. So, Two of Wands, it's a 2. Again, it's a choice, but it's in the shorter term. I feel like you have a choice coming up in the shorter term. Remember that the Lovers is your longer term, months, years. This is days, weeks, or even right now, this Two of Wands. Two of Wands is making a choice, but the person is ruled by fire. So it can mean obviously fire sign energy, but it's more important for the element, because we all take on fire at certain times. And this is about learning to be dynamic. The Two of Wands is not somebody who thinks hard and then goes out and does something. The Two of Wands is somebody who does it as they're going along. They feel something, they move towards it. They feel something, they move away from it. I think there's an issue here, especially with the Devil, who's like bringing up the rear over here. Sort of lurking here, just hanging out on the sidelines. There's something here about not trusting the process, not trusting love to reach you. Now, sometimes that comes from childhood, sometimes it comes from, you know, your first serious relationship, if it went in a particular direction. I'm going to say that, and it's weird because I looked at this before I came on, and it's a brooch, and I've used it in a pick a card before, okay? And it's a stag, and I thought this is important in the love reading, or it's going to be, okay? Let's just put you there, lovely stag. The stag represents divine masculine, and so does the Ace of Swords and also the King of Swords. I'm getting a couple of things here. One, normally I'd be really in favour of leaning into your feminine energy, but I feel like I'm dealing with a lot of you here who are already very deeply in your feminine energy. So we're talking more about leaning into your masculine energy, into your deciding energy, into your business energy. So think of your love life as a little bit like a business, okay? And think of yourself as having some CEO energy, some manager energy, some owner energy, like you own this destiny. You're not in the realm of the fairy tales, you know, in that kind of old-fashioned sense that you're waiting for something to happen to you, or that you're waiting, you know, very much that you are waiting for something to be the driver, someone to drive you on. This is about an exchange, masculine and feminine energy exchange. You are already locked into the feminine, always have been, always will be. But this is about taking a more scientific approach to it. So whether it's dating, whether it's one particular connection, whether it's what to do with the thoughts you have about your ex, whether it's the next person that you meet, there's something here about clarity, about being clear, and about being businesslike, and about, in a way, letting go of the dream. And that is a turning point. That is a friction. There's been friction between what you've been sold and what you've experienced. Okay, and this is whether you're single, coupled, or whatever in between, okay, because there's lots of shades of grey in between. It feels as if you need to give up the fairy tale to get it, which is a really interesting concept, and I'm here for that. Let's just put the Devil over there. Okay. I'm going to take a couple of bridge cards that go in between these to see where we're at, okay? What is bringing this together? What is giving this coherence? What these things have in common. There will be an extended reading, okay? And in the extended reading, I do get very granular. So I'm going to do you, them, and the bridge between you. So it's your energy, their energy. It can be anyone, X, it can be your partner, it can be whoever it is, and their energy and your energy together, and what unites you and what divides you, okay? So I'll do that, and I use 3 different decks for that in the extended. But for now, I'm looking at the bridge here. That's amazing. For some of you, and this is a nice problem to have, okay? For some of you, you don't realise how close you already are. It seems like it's somewhere over the rainbow. It seems like it's far away. It seems like it's a place that you need to get to, okay? Now, if you look here, the bridge cards are the Page of Cups, which is very, very nice, and the 9 of Pentacles, independent woman, okay? So bridging the 2 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, the 10 of Cups. This is a good old-fashioned love card. It's the start of something, it's the beginning of something. So this can be someone asking you out on a date on a love app. A love app? What's a love app? On a dating app, or in person, or however it is that you're out there, okay? Because different people do different things. It can also be someone reaching out to you that you already know. It can be your ex, it can be a partner, it can be whoever it is, but it's always the beginning of something. So it's always like a little text, or it can be an apology as well. But whatever it is, it's not fully developed. It's like the starter for 10, okay? But I like that that bridges these cards here. You know, if we're bridging the 2 of Cups with the 2 of Wands, what makes you decide is the quality of the intro. So if you're single and you're looking, the first thing someone says to you counts for everything, okay? Notice it. If you have been in separation with somebody, the way they try and reconnect is everything. The littlest thing that they do is something that's very significant to you about what you choose as the CEO of your love life. A little bit like if we're going down this business route, you know, someone's CV. The way that the title is, if they make a spelling mistake in the first line of an application letter, you're going to be a little bit suspicious, okay? So remember that first impressions really count, even if it's with someone you know. This doesn't just mean it's for the people who are looking. This is also for people who are looking, for people who are already in relationship. There are many new beginnings even when you know somebody, and they count, okay? So the beginning really counts. What they say, how they say it, and also I'm going to say with the 9 of Pentacles on board, how you feel when you experience it. So the 9 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo. I love this card. It's always about you being independent, being in a balance of masculine and feminine energy, but also giving reasonable consideration to how someone constructs their opener, okay? I like this. Oh yes, it's you then. Nice! 3 of Pentacles. I like the way this reading is kind of turned into like a sort of, I don't know, what is that? What shape is that? It's like a fanned out reading. It's all interconnected. 3 of Pentacles working together in a very solid way. So this is not, you know, being in the sort of liminal space. This is being in reality. There's something here that clicks that means you're able to understand each other, you're able to work together better, you're able to escape the happy ever after. It's so weird how normally we'd be rushing towards the happy ever after, but yours is like running backwards from it. There's something about losing the pressure of the happy ever after, rewriting that story, that brings you so much more happiness than chasing it. Over here we've got the Queen of Pentacles. I just wanted to even out my Devil card. And the Queen of Pentacles is also somebody who knows there's no set time for anything. You're working in divine timing. Okay, so you're working in divine timing. You're working in, I would say, not a linear time frame here. But it's also not cyclical. So it's not linear, but it's also not in a cycle. It's weird. The other thing that I'm getting is that you're cutting a new kind of a timeline that you haven't really experienced before. So it's going to feel a bit strange. And your normal ways of measuring progress are not going to work for you. This is all about snapping the chains of what brought you here and what's kept you trapped in, even if you weren't really aware of it, but the subliminal messages about the fairy tale and what you might consider to be your failure so far to have achieved that. I love that we have the Three of Pentacles, because that's such a solid, we're on the same page, we can do this together, but we can also construct something real. I love this for you. Let's cause some disruption and just take a shadow card for it, because I do want to know. I will take this actually. I don't know why I'm using these as a shadow card, but I'm going to. What's our biggest closed door that we're knocking on? The biggest barrier. Interesting. We get the Five of Swords with the Two of Wands, another repeating card. So I'm definitely dealing with people who are empaths, tarot readers, magic dwellers. Okay, Five of Swords, Venus and Aquarius with the Two of Wands. Trying to make decisions which are not embodied. Now, remember we talked earlier about the Ace of Swords, about treating it like a business, about making decisions like a boss, okay? So you've got boss energy. Sometimes we mistake people who are very good bosses or seem to be great CEOs on the outside as being emotionless, or, you know, not bringing emotions into the boardroom. Now, the fact is actually that the people who are real game changers and have longevity have a lot of heart and passion involved in their decision making. It can be sometimes risky, but it's always done like this Two of Wands that's in the center, okay? The decisions you're making in whatever your path is in your love life are going to be based on how you feel at the time. It seems a bit reckless, and I suppose it is, but not in a sort of not taking care of yourself way. It's more in a being very aware, almost as if you're like got your animal instincts of what's attracting you, what's repelling you, even if you have no good reason why, okay? When you get the Five of Swords, you're looking for all the reasons, but you're not experiencing the feelings. So you can't make the decisions with the warmth and the heat that you need for that Two of Wands. It feels like you may have tried to become more of a cool customer, and I'm telling you to walk back into the heat of the situation. So be guided by your feelings, but do it like a very passionate boss that owns the company that is your love life. I know this is weird, and I don't know why it's in this kind of boss energy, but being the boss of things is not the way it's been portrayed. It's about you being in charge, but also being receptive enough to your own alarm systems, your own heart warmth, and your own, whatever your own weird system is for feeling things. All of that is helping you to make this turning point, this choice, where the two roads diverge, okay? Whew. In the extended reading, we're going to look specifically at your energy, their energy, whoever's on the other side of it, and what is the bridge that brings you together, okay? We'll also have a look at what may keep you apart in some shadow cards as well. I think it's going to be a big one. I couldn't help myself. The link for that is below in the description box. I'll see you all on the other side. Namaste.